ano ia nakanoe. O ka uno ia e ano inei. E li anei hoi o ka hiki mai. A hiki mai no o kou. Hiki puno me ke aloha. Aloha? Aloha e no na haumana I ke kula nui o oahu ka ne'e ua kela la kou I loko o kou la kou haawina ma kou la kou hana nui e pule ka kou e kou la kou I ke koa I ka hana nui I ka mōli ana o nā ohana I hiki a la kou, I kau I ka pono, o ke ola. Ho'omaikai e nā haumana.
Please be seated. Thank you, Kumu Lilinoy Lindsay and the UH West Oahu's History of the Hawaiian Hula class for that Oli greeting. Regent Kahili, Vice President Johnsrud, Vice President Kaleo, special guests, members of the faculty, members of the graduating class, parents, family members, friends, and guests. I guess I don't think I've left anybody out. Good evening. I am Dr. Gene Awakuni, Chancellor here at the University of Hawaii West Oahu, and I'm pleased to welcome you to the Fall 2006 University of West Oahu Commencement. Today, one chapter in all of our lives closes and another, even more exciting one begins. Since this is a special occasion for our graduates and families, I ask that you turn off your cell phones and pagers so that the graduates can enjoy an uninterrupted ceremony. Ms. Jill Koide, a UH West Oahu alumna, will now lead us in the singing of the Star Spangled Banner, followed by Hawaii Pono'i. Please stand.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Jill. You may be seated. At this time, I'm pleased to introduce the platform party. Will each person please rise as your name is called and remain standing? And will the audience please withhold applause until all are recognized? Mr. Michael Dahilig, member of the Board of Regents. Dr. Linda Johnsrud, Vice President for Academic Planning and Policy, University of Hawaii System. Mr. Sam Kaleo, Vice President for Administration, University of Hawaii System. Mr. Michael Bond, our student speaker. Dr. Stephen Sylvester, Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, UH West Oahu. Dr. Mark Hansen, Chair, UH West Oahu Faculty Senate. Dr. Ross Cordy, Chair, Humanities Division. Dr. Lynn Hodgson, Chair, Social Science Division. Dr. Roland Stiller, filling in for Chair, Professional Studies Division. Thank you. I'm especially grateful to Regent Dahilig and Vice Presidents Johnsrud and Kaleo for including UH West Oahu in their busy schedule this evening. I ask that Regent Dahilig say a few words of greeting to the graduates on behalf of the Board of Regents.
Vice President Johnsrud, Vice President Kaleo, Chancellor Awakuni, faculty and staff, friends, and especially the winter 2006 graduates of the University of Hawaii at West Oahu. Good evening and aloha. I feel privileged to participate and share in this joyous occasion with you. Graduates, today you are one of the 100 students this semester that have completed requirements for your respective degree and certificate programs. I salute your perseverance and dedication as you have balanced multiple life priorities in pursuing the hard-earned and difficult to come by goal of receiving a higher education. As I look across at the graduates, you represent a cross-section of our island's state's community. Many of you are young and just embarking on your adult lives. I also see many baby boomers who have chosen to return to school and representing the notion that learning is a lifelong process. This graduating class represents different ethnic, religious, and economically diverse facets of our state. You truly are Hawaii in a microcosm, and every community represented tonight is raised up by the addition of a new scholar. Only 30% of the people in our island home have attained a baccalaureate degree, and your achievement tonight will set you apart. Although you've accrued vast amounts of student loans and owe more than a few Z's to Mr. Sandman, I ask that you not forget the debt that you owe to your family, friends, community, and your professors for helping you achieve this goal. A degree comes not only with rights and privileges, but also comes with obligations, an obligation to give back and serve others. For those whom much has been given, much is expected, and I hope you resolve to use your education to benefit others and make your community and your world a better place. As a note, I wish to also congratulate and thank the faculty and staff of West Oahu for helping these students reach their goal. Although I hail from the Manoa campus, West Oahu's reputation as a dedicated, nurturing, and supportive institution of higher learning resounds far beyond its Pearl City campus. Faculty, I wish to share in your vision that these graduates will be thoughtful, competent, and responsible members and leaders of our Hawaii Ohana. So on behalf of the University of Hawaii Board of Regents, I wish to extend to all of you my heartfelt congratulations and best wishes for the future. May you all have a joyous and safe celebration on your commencement day and the rest of the holiday season. Mahalo.
Thank you, Regent Dahilig. Vice President Linda Johnsrud is representing President David McLean at today's ceremonies, and we are pleased that Vice President Johnsrud is with us, and we'll invite her now to extend some words of greeting to the graduating class and to the members of the audience. Thank you.
On behalf of President David McLean and the entire University of Hawaii system, I want to say good evening to the audience and congratulations to the graduates fall 2006. We are proud of you, and we are proud that you will represent the university. Graduates, I know that each of you worked hard to complete your program at UH West Oahu. You committed valuable time and effort to learn, to think, to grow, to achieve graduation. Many of you were also employed, some at multiple jobs. Many of you have family responsibilities as well. I commend and salute you for your personal motivation and perseverance. Most of us, however, accomplish very little alone. Let's not forget the support and encouragement you received along the way, the support you received from parents, spouses, children, sisters, brothers, other relatives, significant others, and friends, many of whom are here this evening in this audience. And let's not forget the dedicated faculty and staff of UH West Oahu who helped you accomplish your goals. So, members of the graduating class of fall 2006, please join me in thanking and applauding the members of the audience who helped you achieve the success we celebrate this evening. Please stand. And let's applaud these people. Thank you. And congratulations. Be seated.
Mahalo, Vice President Johnsrud. Now we'd like to introduce some of our special guests and ask them to stand to be recognized as their names are called. Senator Ron Minor, Senator Clarence Nishihara, Senator Mike Gabbard, and Ms. Carol Ann Rowe, representing Representative Miley Shimabukuro. Thank you for coming. Dr. Steve Sylvester will now recognize the honor students.
Aloha. Will those students who are graduating with distinction and wearing a gold stole please rise? Based on a 4-point scale, these candidates have earned a grade point average of at least 3.75 and have completed at least 45 credits at West Oahu. You will find the names of these outstanding students asterisked in your program. In addition, the graduating class includes several members who were selected for Psi Chi, the National Psychology Honor Society. Will the Psi Chi students please rise? Got you already. I salute all of you. Thank you. You may be seated.
Thank you, Dr. Sylvester. I'm now pleased to introduce our student speaker, Mr. Michael Bond. Michael is receiving his Bachelor of Arts with his concentration in history degree with distinction. Employed as an audiologist, Mike has maintained full-time employment while pursuing his degree and was able to maintain a 4.0 GPA. Mike's wife, Dawn, is graduating with him tonight, also with distinction, and he will address you on behalf of the graduating class. Michael.
On behalf of the entire Fall 2006 West Oahu graduating class, we thank every one of you for being here tonight. Getting to West Oahu at 6:30 on a Friday evening, you deserve a medal. We also want to heartily thank our families, without whose support we would have had a very tough time being here. And thank you to the faculty and staff and administrators who have guided us to be here to this point tonight. The honor of speaking on behalf of this graduated class has reminded me that our great claim to fame as students of West Oahu is the label that every student has ever been given at this school, like it or not. We cannot simply be known as students with ambitions, hopes, and dreams. We've been branded, you've heard it, non-traditional. Now, what does this mean, non-traditional? Are we special? Or perhaps we're just a bit odd? And just what about us and our education and our school that is not quite traditional or normal? If you ask me, non-traditional sounds a little bit too politically correct for my blood, almost like it's been verbally sanitized a little bit. And I have the feeling that it's been created to put us in a neat little package where we can be shuffled off to the far corners of the university system. Well, I like to think instead, even though we have a humble campus, that we are students in the very most traditional sense. We value the opportunity that all of you have given us to have an education. And we value it enough to do whatever it takes to make it happen. Every one of us has a story that proves that that statement is true. And yes, it is true. We manage households. We care for little ones. We assist aged parents. We work multiple jobs. And most of all, yes, hardest of all, for years we've missed all the great parties. You know, I have homework tonight. For many of us, getting this degree has been a war of attrition, and I would say tonight we have won. Does any of this make us non-traditional? Not a chance. Each one of us graduating here has a story of perseverance and sacrifice. The fact that we are here before you, successful in this endeavor, makes us so much more than any label can possibly represent. Ours is a story that has a human side, and that human side is compelling. It is a story that dignifies our success. As many of you know and was announced, Dawn and I are graduating together tonight. We too have a story. We ought to. We've been going to college for 14 years. But I promise it won't be a long story. One day, our daughter Mariko, who is here, she said to Mommy, she's been thinking about us going to school, she said, "Mommy, I'm never going to make the mistake you and Daddy made." Well, now, that's a shocking statement from a child. So Dawn gently asked her what she meant. Well, after Mari gave us the blueprint of her life, you know, it's graduating this and that and graduating high school, she comes to the serious part. She says, "Mommy, I'm not going to make the mistake of getting married before I go to college like you and Daddy did. I'm going to wait to find my prince until after I've graduated so I don't have to go to school forever." It's nice to know that our stories can inspire. And that brings us back to the issue of our stories. Every one of these students has one, and we should share it. It will inspire our children, our families, our friends, our partners, our associates. I'll share a little bit of mine. I promise just a little. My personal journey to this moment began 34 years ago in Northern California. It was the fall of 1972. I was 16 years old. I was a junior in high school. Within 3 months, our old rented house burned to the ground with everything in it, and my mother died from cancer. Having literally nothing but the clothes on my back left, and that's not an exaggeration, and an old Ford car and 2 surfboards, I made a decision to stick with it and finish high school. I lived in that car. I worked nights and I worked weekends. I hitchhiked up the coast from California in 1973 during the spring to get a job in Alaska so that I could come back and pay for rent for a house for my senior high school year. Obviously, any thoughts I had of college vanished at that moment because I was just having too much fun. But what happened, for several years after that, I just kind of was in a generation that drifted. I worked my way back and forth across the country, a year in a lumber mill here, a couple years in a coal mine there. Finally, I tired of that type of a nomadic life. I ended up here in Hawaii with my 2 surfboards in 1980, and I met Dawn, who I've been married to for nearly 25 years. We started a business, and life was on autopilot until 1992. That year we lost our first child. We were grieving, and it was overwhelming. Almost in desperation, we decided to get a community college schedule and go to school. So we picked the first night class we saw, And literally, we enrolled in world history in January of 1993 for, of all things, to get some comfort. I know it sounds bizarre, but it's true. Now, it's taken us a long time to get to this point. But I'll tell you, right then when we took that class, the education was so good that we were hooked. It empowered us, it rejuvenated us for about 2 semesters. Yet something clicked, and this was something that we knew we had to do. So we committed to get it finished. Now, of course, it's taken us 14 years, but that's our story. And our story could not be complete had it not been for the dedication of the faculty and the administrators and the staff of our now alma mater University of West Oahu. And I want you all to remember that every student here feels that way about these people who have supported us. The vision of the founders of West Oahu 30 years ago is still paying dividends today. And we are proof that this little university can change lives. It is my hope, and I believe I speak for every graduate here this evening, that our school will grow, and it will grow. And the founding the founding fathers, as they move on to other endeavors, sorry, Dan, that the generations of new professors and others who follow them will never forget our roots. Remember, our university was founded so that people on the 14-year plan, people on the night school plan, and people on the outer island plan could get a great education. Those are our roots. By being here tonight, you're sharing with us in our story, and it is a personal story. It's an important story. It's a story of our desire to improve our lives, and it is the story of our partnership with this small but great university. Some of our stories are quite special. Some are, like mine, kind of odd. But I really hope that we will never allow our efforts and the efforts of anyone who has invested their careers in University of Hawaii at West Oahu to be marginalized with labels that diminish what we have worked so hard to achieve. So as we leave here tonight, graduates, tell your story. It is inspiring. Make all who will listen know how proud we are to be the fall 2006 graduates of West Oahu.
You know, it's sitting here, and I'm sure it has the same effect on you. You know, this is why I've been doing this for 25 years, and this is why my colleagues, I think, feel the same way. Everyone has a story, and every story matters, and Mike exemplifies the best of UH West Oahu, and Mike, we really appreciate that story. Thank you. Now I'm going to introduce Dr. Mark Hansen, who is the chair of the University of Hawaii West Oahu Faculty Senate, and on behalf of the Senate, he will give their final salutation to the graduates.
Get my paper going here. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to extend a warm welcome to our graduates, their spouses, partners, parents, grandparents, children, brothers, sisters, aunties, uncles, friends, and grandchildren. We have some late bloomers at UH West Oahu. We have only 73 graduates participating in this ceremony tonight, but this crowd is many, many times larger than that. Your influence and the influences that have shaped these graduates are much larger than they realize. As the representative of the UH West Oahu faculty, I'd like to say that we're proud of you this day. We're proud of your persistence, your academic success, that you finished what you started, We're proud of our students at UH West Oahu, and we're doubly proud when they graduate. I thought a lot about something inspiring that I could say on this great day that could compare with the accomplishment of your graduation. Pretty much came up blank. And through the usual ideas, life's a journey, not a destination, blah, blah. This doesn't work. And trying to come up with a message, I kept coming back to this bumper sticker. All those years of education, it comes down to a bumper sticker. Coming back to this bumper sticker that was on a colleague's door. It simply read, "Don't believe everything that you think." And it strikes me that this message is important today because we have an overabundance of firm belief in our own narrow, biased, self-serving thoughts. Now, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with belief. It's a great source of good, a source of comfort, the foundation of a belief system that can lead to moral and ethical conduct. But beliefs, once adopted, can also be blinding and are often born of conflicted interests, self-serving interests, which we may not even be aware of. Beliefs, like most things, can be a source of good or bad. But how do you know? What should you do? How do you know what to believe? As a graduate with a Bachelor of Arts from the University of Hawaii at West Oahu, you should know that the antidote to the blinding and biasing side of a belief is to be thoughtful, to challenge your own beliefs, to try and be reflective, and to actively seek awareness of the motives for your own beliefs. Now, this is a messy process that stands in contrast with the comfort and security of unquestioning belief. It can be a discomforting way to live. But the alternative, which allows us to believe in everything that we think, is also to believe that there is nothing more to be known. No purpose for further exploration. Nothing that remains to be discovered. Our message and our appeal to you is that you will choose the messy path that challenges your own beliefs with evidence that leads to the possibility that your beliefs may very well be wrong, that requires you to recognize the truth in beliefs that you may not even like, that forces you to be intellectually honest. Choose the path that motivates exploration and leads to new discovery. We need your discoveries. So go forth, prosper, please give back, do good things, and think. But don't believe everything that you think. Congratulations on your achievement this day.
Thank you, Dr. Hansen. Now we're ready for the reason that all of you came, and I'm sure what the graduates are looking forward to. I guess you're looking forward to the awarding of the degrees, aren't you? Yeah? No. Okay, then we'll do more speeches. Before I introduce Dr. Sylvester, who will be awarding the degrees and certificates, I want to mention that we're probably the only university in Hawaii and one of the few in the country that actually awards a degree at the time of commencement. Because usually what happens is that you get a piece of paper that says your degree will come in 2 months. But we made the effort because we think it's important for you to have that document that says that you have been awarded a bachelor's degree or a certificate or whatever the case may be. And our staff has worked tirelessly, and the faculty have committed themselves to get their grades in on time, which is an important accomplishment. And Dean Jean Osumi and her staff have, again, worked very, very hard to get this done. And especially want to thank Terry Ota, who is our registrar, who has been the person that has orchestrated this, and for her efforts, we're very grateful. So at this time, Dr. Sylvester, our Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, will be awarding the degrees and certificates.
Thank you, Chancellor Awakuni. We now proceed to the best part, well, one of the best parts anyway, awarding of academic degrees and certificates to the graduates. Will all of the candidates for the Bachelor of Arts in Social Sciences, the Bachelor of Arts in Humanities, the Bachelor of Arts in Business Administration, the Bachelor of Arts in Public Administration, and the students who are candidates for a certificate, please rise. Chancellor Awakuni, it gives me great pleasure to present to you these candidates. They have completed their prescribed courses of study and are recommended by the faculty for the award of the appropriate degrees and certificates.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents and the State of Hawaii, I hereby confer upon you the degrees and certificates to which you are entitled. Okay, you can be seated.
Okay, will the candidates for the Bachelor of Arts in the Humanities please arise and come on up? And you'll just walk by me. I'll give their names and the concentration they're in, and you'll pass on and get your degree. Don Bond, Literature. Michael Bond, History. Lisa Britt, History. Chantal Fabrau, History. Dane Justman, Hawaiian Pacific Studies. Jerry Lee, History. And Gino Yama, Literature. Are they going to work their way around? Oh. I guess they're going to be in the back.
Dr. Lynn Hodgson will present the degrees in the social sciences.
Will the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Arts in Social Sciences please rise and come forward? Cheryl Tamai Archer, Psychology. Janelle M.C. Bueno, psychology. Jacqueline Cariaga, psychology. Lane Chadwick, applied science. Mariola Craver, psychology. Rudy Domingo, sociology. Angela Everhard, psychology. Yenny Mae Fernando, psychology. Tasha Horton, economics. Leah Marie Kamake Aina, psychology. Christy Kailani Kanayuki, psychology. Travis Kiyoshi Kanayuki, psychology. Kahikina Okala Mapuana Pearl Lee, political science. John Eugene Martinez, political science and sociology. Keona Leslie, psychology and certificate in substance abuse and addiction studies. Crystal Sachiko Nagamine, psychology. Natasha Caroline Sabe Nairn, sociology. Lauren Neymau Pualani Miki Nishimura, psychology. Karina Ashley Rodriguez, psychology. Leanne Kulemaile San Miguel Shiota, psychology. Joshua John Sykes, economics. Tammy D. Welteke, psychology. Lynn Yamauchi, sociology.
Dr. Roland Stiller will now present the degrees in Professional Studies and Business Administration.
Would all the students who are candidates for the Bachelor of Art in Business Administration please rise and come forward. Cherise Kamalani Ala, accountant. Stacy N. Moani Bannister, business administration. Joanne Chinnen Moore, Bachelor of Arts, business administration, accounting. Michael Jordan Krono, Bachelor of Arts in Business Administration. Tiffany Michelle Gomes, Business Administration. Sheila Gassman, Business Administration. Michelle Hammer, Business Administration. Ellen E. Howard, Business Administration. Harold K. Kageura, Business Administration. Anne Martin Kawamoto, Accounting. Cheryl M. Kim, Business Administration. Marcus Chester Kiyono, Business Administration. Teresa Jinin Manaia Medeiros, Accounting. Kelly K. Maunakea, Business Administration. Adam Roberts Meacham, Business Administration. Francisco Jose Miranda Sayas, Business Administration. Eriko Miyagawa, Business Administration. Corey I. Oda, Business Administration. Gary K. Uchi, Business Administration. Leslie L. Rhodes, Accounting. Dennis K. Tashima, Accounting. Marietta P. Ballesteros, Accounting. Mandy Michelle Wilcoxon, Business Administration. Would the candidates, the students who are candidates for the degree of Public Administration, please rise and come forward. Saini Kapai Agas, General Public Administration and Certificate in Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management. Glenn V. Agosan, Justice Administration. Micheline Kimi Allo, Justice Administration. Justin Wing Yao Ballars, Justice Administration, plus a certificate in disaster preparedness and emergency management. Ernest W. Burnett, Justice Administration. Erin Akira Kanida, Public Administration. Lei Margaret Ching, Public Administration. Eric Katsumi Higa, Justice Administration. Wendy Marie Kahaloa, Justice Administration, plus a certificate in disaster preparedness and emergency management. Christina Lin, Public Administration. Sherry Lee Lobrillo, Justice Administration. M. Gerald Martins, Justice Administration. Shannon Michelle Morrison, Justice Administration. Eric Nakamoto, Justice Administration. Wendy Keiko Okada, Public Administration. James E. Samuel, Public Administration. And last but not least, Darren Kazuyoshi Tsunada, Justice Administration.
Well, that brings us almost to the end of our ceremony this evening. I do want to make an announcement and also say a few words on behalf of UH West Oahu. The announcement. The Board of Regents in November authorized UH West Oahu to begin the lower 2 years of our curriculum, which means that after 30 years, we've achieved another important milestone and will now be a full-fledged 4-year baccalaureate institution. We'll be accepting our first freshman class in the fall of 2007. So this is before, by the way, we go to the new site, which we expect to occupy in the fall of 2009. But our first class of freshmen, and we're calling it the Freshman 100 class because we're targeting 100 freshmen to enter that class. How many of you are in high school or seniors? Okay, now remember that. We're going to start our marketing recruitment campaign in early January. So be aware. This is a class of pioneers. You're going to be the first class of freshmen to make it through a 4-year baccalaureate on the west side of Oahu. Long, long overdue. So for that, to the regents and to the other people like Dr. John Srood and Sam Kaleo who've helped us, we're very, very grateful. It's been a long, long time for this to come. And we're very, very excited about the future of West Oahu. Thank you. Thank you. Now, just a bit of more information about that first class. We worked out an arrangement with Island Pacific Academy in Kapolei to be able to use their upper school in the evenings to begin the program. And they have fabulous classrooms if you've ever been down to their facilities. So again, stay tuned for all of the information that will be coming out, going to high schools. We'll be doing some media ads as well. So we're very, very thrilled about that. But I don't want to forget what Michael mentioned, which has become and is and will continue to be the bread and butter of UH West Oahu. That's reaching out to students who have had backgrounds that may not have been the straight and narrow path. And I can attest to the importance of our continuing to acknowledge and support those students. I was a returning Vietnam vet, barely made it out of high school, so I joined the Marine Corps and got to community college and then was able to get a 4-year baccalaureate and then on to get my doctorate from Harvard. So without this kind of program like West Oahu, none of the dreams that I had or many of us had would have been realized. So we will continue to commit ourselves to students who choose to come to us and who've had stories like Michael's and others in this group that may not have been the traditional path for most students that go on to college. This is our commitment. So graduates, one final congratulations. We know that you will do great things. After all, you have a UH West Oahu degree, so it will mean a lot. This is something that no one can ever take away from you. This is something that you've earned, that your families and friends and everybody else have supported, but you're the ones that have earned it. And for that, we appreciate all that you will do, because we know you'll do great things for your family and your community. And remember that it's important to reach out to others who have stories similar to yours to make sure that they can get on a path to higher education as well. So that's your responsibility. Because you've done this, now it's your turn to help somebody else achieve that dream as well. So congratulations again, graduates. Let's give them a round of applause. So let me invite everyone to a reception in the courtyard on the ever side of the theater. Ever side, is that side? It's sponsored by the UH West Oahu Student Government Association. Our thanks to all who have contributed to the planning of this event. We have a host of people, faculty, staff that have volunteered their efforts to this commencement. Special thanks to Leeward Community College for their assistance, the use of this theater, and the Student Government Association, the Psychology Club, the UH West Oahu Alumni Association, and again, to the entire West Oahu staff. If you like, you'll be able to view tonight's commencement ceremonies online via the internet by tomorrow morning. This concludes our ceremonies for this evening. Will the audience please remain at their seats until the platform party, faculty, and students have exited. Aloha to all, and again, congratulations, graduates. one important thing that I left out. Okay, graduates, rise for one last. As a symbol of your transition from candidates for a degree or certificate to a holder of a degree or certificate, will you move the tassel on your mortarboard from right to left? Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the class of fall 2006. You may be seated. Got some cheering sections out there. Okay, now this seriously brings the commencement to a close. So please be seated until the platform party and the graduates have exited the theater. Thank you.